Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is Bkfc fighter Isaac Doolittle. Isaac, thank you so much for accepting the interview invitation. Can you please say a few words about yourself? Thank you so much.
Um, MMA fighter, been competing at 170 and 185, and just trying my hand at bare knuckle. So we'll see how far this goes. Hopefully, I can get a belt out of it.
Yeah, I hope too. When did you start training in the first place, and which was your first martial art you trained?
I trained Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I was 19, and that was about 10 years ago here in Manhattan, Kansas, at Combative Sports Center under Joe Wilk.
That's outstanding. Do you have a nickname?
The Honey Badger.
Can you please elaborate the origin of the nickname? How did you get it?
So, long time ago, when I was competing in MMA and doing mainly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was a blue belt at the time, and I went up against a purple belt. And the guy was supposed to mop the floor with me, and I just walked through him. And my coach, there's a YouTube video at the time called Honey Badger Don't Care. And he just looked at me and he's just like, "You're a honey badger. Doesn't matter what they throw at you. You just don't care." And so fast forward to my recent pro fights, a buddy of mine was doing the announcing, and he's been waiting apparently a couple years to call me the honey badger, so he did it in front of everybody in the audience, so kind of stuck there.
Oh yeah. How would you describe your fighting style?
I'm an inside boxer, good at the clinch. Even in MMA, it was all up against the wall and infighting. I got short arms, so I got to get in there so I can hit him.
So you're trying to say that your specialty is dirty boxing, or
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
that's the first time somebody says he is a dirty boxing specialist. Never hear it, but that's awesome, really, really awesome. Uh, can we please discuss your first amateur MMA fight?
My first amateur MMA fight was it was against I want to say 6'2", is 170 pounds. He came in overweight at almost 190, but we took the fight anyway. And I took him down, got on mount, punched him a little bit, got an arm bar, and then he got out of it, rolled out, and I went to take him down again, and apparently he started elbowing me on the back of my neck, and right as I was about to pull his legs out from under him, the ref separated us and disqualified him for that. I didn't even realize he was hitting me.
About that disqualification, did you realize in the first place that the disqualification occurred?
They told us right when we separated, because I went to go hit him, and the ref caught my hand.
Very weird. First fight in disqualification. Very weird experience. Who was your toughest amateur opponent?
I'm sorry?
Who was your toughest amateur opponent?
My toughest amateur opponent was when I went for a belt, the middleweight belt for VFC, and that was John Simon. We went 5 rounds, and it was a war.
What can you say about your professional debut? And the most important, how did you feel heading into your professional debut? Were you afraid, or you were like, alright, let's go, let's see what it brings with it?
MMA or bare knuckle?
MMA, we'll talk to Bare Knuckle later.
MMA, I was excited. I had 13 backouts, 13 people who said they were going to fight, and then almost like a week before weigh-ins, a few days before weigh-ins, they backed out. So when Zach Long finally accepted and showed up, I was happy and ready to go.
So later you defeated Devon Weber, right?
Yep.
So how did you defeat Devon Weber?
Devin Weber was a wrestler. He was the kind of the hometown hero and the crowd favorite for Shamrock. Basically just pushed it against the cage, took him down, and I stayed on top the rest of the time, just hitting him. He tried to get out a few times, and I just retook him down and stayed on top.
After unanimous decision loss to Austin Jones, you probably needed something new, or how did you feel after that? Why did you ink Bare Knuckle? Was there a specific reason, or you just wanted to test something new?
Austin Jones was there was a lot of complications to that fight. Um, I actually switched gyms because of that fight. That was a very winnable fight, and in fact, I showed that in the first round, and I started to get tired in the second round, and my coach didn't show up to my fight. I was a whole state away, one of the biggest fights in my career, and my coach didn't show up to my fight to coach me. So I had two random people in my corner who'd never seen me fight, didn't know who I was, and it just you're programmed to listen to your coach, and when they have no idea what you're supposed to be doing, they can't really give you any help. So after that, I switched gyms and started training, and then Sam Kleinbeck came up and asked if I wanted to do bare knuckle. So I knew they were a big up and coming sport, so I figured I'd give them a try.
How's the feel when you fight? Well, I don't want to sound rude, but without a coach. You know, you said your coach wasn't there.
How did it feel? It was the most nerve-wracking thing in my life because I was always, every single fight I had, you listen to the coach, you go in, he's got your back. I did good the first round because I was nice and fresh, and as soon as everything started getting tiring, there was no support there.
Yeah, it must have been very, very much terrible. How did your bare knuckle debut go? Are you pleased with your bare knuckle debut performance since this was a very new experience?
My bare knuckle debut, yeah, I got my first knockout against John McAllister, and yeah, that was a blast. That kept me on course for this last fight.
And what was the strategy for Brandon Johnson for that victory? Did you have a specific strategy for your last Bkfc outing?
I did. It was get inside on the clinch. We knew his jab was strong, and it was get inside on the clinch, wrap up his left, and start firing. But as I went to wrap up his left, I was supposed to switch across to the right, wrap up his right, and then start firing with my heavy hand. But they kept separating us too early.
In bare knuckle, what is the most difficult position for your opponent when you're in the clinch? Is it pummeling? Is it single collar? Is it holding?
The most difficult is being prepared on the break, because you know he's going to throw something, you just don't know what it is. It's either an uppercut or a hook, and if you guess wrong, you walk right into it.
So on the break is the most risky position ever, right?
Because while I'm in the clinch, I'm short enough, and my arms are short enough that I can generate enough power to hurt him. His arms are too long. There's no way he can do any damage to me.
Some fighters said that the bare knuckle ropes are like a wall. So can you please say what do they mean under that? They say you slam into a wall, and that's literally it. What are they trying to say?
I thought they'd have some give, like some boxing ropes. No, they're actually like you have to really put your whole weight on them to get them to move an inch. Those things are solid.
So it's like you're hitting a wall, right? Or
yeah, it's like you're hitting a bar.
whoa.
As soon as you hit all three of that wall's right there, you're not going anywhere.
It's probably way different than MMA. What are your future plans anyway? Do you plan to stay at bare knuckle and try to become a champ, or you're going to switch from time to time?
I might pick up an MMA fight or two, but it's not going to jeopardize my bare knuckle. I want that belt.
Do you have somebody locked in your sights for the next outing in bare knuckle?
It's really whoever they give me.
Really
And
much?
don't bother me either way.
Yeah, I just hope you're gonna fight big name now. I mean, you have 2 wins. They should give you at least, I don't know, top 5, top 7. I don't know how are rules in bare knuckle. In MMA, for example, if you keep winning, you get ranked opponent. How is it in bare knuckle?
I'm not 100% sure. I'm new to the sport. I do know I'm number 4 in the world for 185, so I'm guessing they're going to give me either 3, 2, or 1.
Ooh, that's gonna be great. Really going to be great. Would you like to add something to this interview? Is there something we didn't say about your career?
No, well, I train out of Never Surrender MMA in Abilene, Kansas, and it's been a good fit. They've got a lot of good knowledge there, some great boxers. Marcus Merritt, my coach, is out there, and he's got phenomenal jiu-jitsu, but he's also got phenomenal fundamental boxing, and that's all we did to pick apart Brandon Johnson was basic boxing.
Thank you so much for this interview. I will publish it tomorrow your time. Just need to create a video. Tomorrow morning, check it. It will be online.
Much appreciated, sir.
Alright. Thank you so much, Isaac. Have a great day.
Take care.